Good morning. This is How It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Saturday. Exciting day, of course. So what's going on, friends? You got the home improvement jitters? You excited? You thinking that the building materials are too high? Let me know your thoughts today. 248-539-9797. It's open text, of course, Saturdays. Shout out Saturdays is what we like to call it. And listen, we got lots of content to talk about today. I'll give you a couple teasers. Is the housing market about to crash? I'm going to tell you why the experts say no. But I'm an expert, and I'm not so sure. So we're going to talk and maybe discuss that. Things you might be doing to drive your neighbor nuts. Drive your neighbor nuts. Yeah, I have a lot of those. Here's one. Curb appeal landscaping ideas you can do yourself. This is one we wanted to get to last week, but what I wish I knew before I renovated. I hear that a lot to people like, oh my God, Adam, I wish I knew you before I hired a contractor and got screwed. We have home maintenance myths, and the most common project for homeowners who like to do it themselves. You see, I'm not a do-it-yourselfer, right? I'm the guy who likes to hire it done, but I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. So for everyone out there who understands that, I'm the guy who wants to just get a guy to do it. From the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. So I don't want to have any problems, but literally I'd rather have someone else do it. And that's a big change and the big thing, the way we want things to happen around here. So don't forget, if you have a question this morning that Google can't answer, you can always text us, 248-539-9797. Or if you're a contractor, essential worker, or perhaps even county, any kind of person out there listening right now, let us know you're listening. If you have a question or whatever, we'll give you a shout out, which you'd like to do, of course. So we all been hearing about the housing market. We heard building materials are going crazy. And how do you handle it? You know, I talked to a lot of contractors recently, and I asked them, and they're like, yeah, we're locking in prices, and then we're fighting with suppliers, and homeowners, of course, never want to pay extra, and I don't blame the homeowners. So let's talk about the housing market. New construction housing, and under housing always falls renovation, so we just want to, like, in a bigger picture. So there's an article I recently read, and it was interesting, but I kind of think maybe it could be something that's a little different. But let's see what this article has to say. I'll give you the summary. So it says the U.S. housing market's on fire, right? Most homeowners are getting double-digit appreciation. You're selling a house, you get multiple offers. Buyers are being forced to pay more than double the asking price. And that's crazy. So the real estate party is in full swing. And according to the National Association of Realtors, prices of existing homes soared a record 17% from March 20th to March 2021. So what does that tell you? During the pandemic, housing prices went up. So what happened? Well, let's look at a little history. Last time the U.S. housing market looked this frothy was back in 2005. So that's 16 years ago. And I was still on radio then. That's when I just started, by the way. And it went that housing market was exploding until 2007. Then the home values crashed with what we know, disastrous consequences, right? The mortgage crisis, everything. And then when the real estate bubble burst, the global economy plunged. There's all kinds of headaches that happened after that. We all know that was a big time problem. So today, people want to know, oh my God, are we in a housing bubble again? Is it about to burst? Is it about to crash? Phil Shoemaker, who's the president of Origination's mortgage lender, says if you look at what's going on in the home price appreciation, it feels bubble-ish. But if you look at the fundamentals behind it, it's hard to say it is. So people are making they're making a case right now for the fact that it's not a bubble. Now, what are the experts saying about the appreciation of the pricing? They're saying it's worrisome, right? Because look at people, history repeats itself. We know that. And people want to make money on a house and they want to ride that bubble. But a lot of them think, oh, it'll never stop. It'll never end. Well, we already know everything comes to an end. Everything. Like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Doji, right? Oh, there's our sprinkler again. And while the recent pace of home prices is going up, the values are going up. Eventually, buyers are going to stop, and it's going to come to a crashing halt. So here's some reasons why the housing market isn't going to crash. This is what they say. It's not going to crash. And by the way, if you have a question this morning, text me 248-539-9797. We'd love to help you out and talk to you a little bit. So 6 reasons the housing market is not about to crash when we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. Thanks for tuning in. We have good 2 hours of Hire It Done right now. So we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great Saturday morning. I got to send a sprinkler guy over to the radio station. We got a broken sprinkler. Maybe Roberto will post my picture that I just sent him of me in front of the sprinklers. Today's a good day to run through the sprinklers, right? I think so. Anyways, 6 reasons why the housing market is not about to crash. This is from an article I read, and it's interesting if you think about this, but are we headed for a housing crash? What do you think? 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer? Text me this morning. We have open text lines for you, and also it's Shout Out Saturday. So that's the thing. So we're going to help you. So here's the thing. Housing economists point to 6 compelling reasons that no crash is imminent. Now, once the experts say there's no crash, my opinion, it's going to crash. Because the experts are all, not all, most, are pretty, I don't know, expertish, but not really. So we'll figure that out in a minute. But here's what they say. They say inventories are at record lows. The National Association of Realtors said there's a 2-to-1, there was just a 2.1 month supply of homes for sale, up marginally from February's 2.0 month supply. So two months of houses on the market, it's all they have in the inventory. And every time a house sells, it goes out of the inventory, and every time a house gets on the market, the inventory goes up. Builders can't build quickly enough to meet demand. That's, of course, true, right? And now with material shortages and pricing going up, that's another big issue. Mortgage rates remain near historic lows. That's a big one. But the housing crash in 2006-07, the mortgage rates were pretty low, and they went lower, and it didn't solve it. It still took 6-7 years or whatever it was to get back. Demographic trends are creating new home buyers. There's a strong demand for homes on many fronts. Many Americans who already owned homes decided that during the pandemic, they needed bigger places. Millennials are a huge group in their prime buying years, and Hispanics are a young, growing demographic keeping keen on ownership. That's a good one. Lending standards remain strict. In 2007, they call them the liar loans. You remember that? Oh, you got a heartbeat? Come here, sign up. We'll get you a mortgage. Everyone borrowed against their house. Well, they don't allow that anymore. So maybe that is. It's a nice thing. And then foreclosure activity is muted. Foreclosures are down. So that's another reason why the housing market may not crash. But if I were to come up with 6 reasons why it would crash, it would mute all these items. Because I got to be honest with you. I don't believe the experts, and I'm nervous because I think it's about to crash. We got too many other things going on in the country, right? Lots of things going on. And we're not getting political here because no one wants to get political except me. But we're not going to do that today. Guess what today is? Besides Shout Out Saturday and besides open line texting, which is 248-539-9797, it's also Salt Sale Saturdays. So you know that Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions is the trusted leader in high-quality, cost-effective services and equipment throughout of all Southeast Michigan with locations in Livingston and Oakland counties. And now they have a new location in Howell, Michigan. Whether you have city or well water, Beauchamp will solve your hard, smelly, and rusty water issues and keep your water safe from lead, PFAS, and other contaminants. Request a free water test today. And by the way, that's the best thing. Get them to test your water, then you'll know. It's 810-632-2000. Again, 810-632-2000. Every Saturday, save on all your water treatment supplies at Beauchamp's famous Salt Sale Saturdays, which is in their Waterford, Heartland, or Howell locations. Or just go to BeauchampWater.com. Now, just for everyone out there, I have a reverse osmosis in my house that they put in. And legit, the water's great. And I'm going to be honest with you. Everyone takes water for granted. You know, we have distribution systems. Water's going through your pipes. You know, there's the lead issues, but if you want to take the water that's coming to your house, you want to filter it and make it taste better, there's only one place to go, Beauchamp. And trust me when I tell you. So, 248-539-9797. Let's see. Personally, we have a question. And by the way, if you have a question this morning, I'd love to hear from you. We have one here. How hard is it to get a contractor to put in a sprinkler system, and how much should I budget for? Oh, that's Jason. Jason has a question. Yeah, of course. So the issue is, what do you do? And how do you do it? Well, obviously, sprinkler guys aren't crazy busy. Oh no, that's right. Everybody's crazy busy. But no, listen, a sprinkler in your house it's priced by zones. The average home needs about 6-7 zones, maybe more. But $3-4 is a sprinkling system that you need. The key is to how do you take a sprinkler system from the old days and make a modern new one? You got to have a rain sensor so you're not sprinkling. Don't you hate it when it's raining out in the sprinkler systems? It's raining out and the sprinkler systems are running. Who wants to water the lawn in the rain? That's why you need a rain sensor. So if you're gonna have a new sprinkler system in your house, make sure you put a rain sensor in. If you have an existing sprinkler system, call the sprinkler company and see if they'll add a rain sensor. Literally, that's the way to go. And June 16th at 10 a.m., we have a webinar for the Better Business Bureau in case anyone wants to know if you're a contractor and you haven't joined the Better Business Bureau yet. It's a good group. We have a home improvement council that I lead up there that we're hitting the restart button on real soon as well, which is always good. So with that being said, let's see. I'm seriously concerned about inflation in this country because the government keeps pumping unnecessary money into the economy. Cost of living is going up much faster than people's income. Ben. Yes, Ben. 100%. How about the fact that I went to get a burger on, I don't know, Wednesday, Tuesday in Birmingham. Not Birmingham, Royal Oak on Woodward. You know, the best burger place around. And I walked in and the hostess says, hi. I'm like, it's going to be 2. She goes, it's going to be 45 minutes. Now, the restaurant's half empty. I'm like, 45 minutes? She goes, yeah. I go, okay, let me ask. Labor shortage? She looked at me, she laughed. She goes, it's me, the general manager, and the chef. That's the 3 of us today. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, here's a perfect example of a place that busted their butt during COVID, is doing everything in their power to keep afloat, and no one wants to come to work. And why is that? Oh, the stimulus money, the unemployment. It's ridiculous. So what do you do to counteract that? You pay more money? You got to cut off. It's like pulling off the Band-Aid. Cut it off now. Seriously. And that's where we're at. So it's not the solution is pay more, do more. It's stop paying people to sit on their butts at home. I have contractors. I said, what are you going to do to find labor? He goes, well, I have a couple that are still collecting unemployment. They said they'll come back to work if I pay them cash. Think about that for a minute, friends. That's called thievery. Do you understand thievery? When unemployment's for when you can't find a job, it's like a rescue plan. Not to sit home and milk it. What's wrong with you? That's what I'm talking about. Do-it-yourself remains the most common project method for homeowners. Did you know that? I'm going to talk about more of that when we come back. And don't forget, 248-539-9797. You got to chime in. Let me know your thoughts. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Higher Ton Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer. Good morning, Adam. At least the weekend is going to be gorgeous and hot. Just have to stay cool, so I hope everyone's air conditioning is working properly. Dan, the therapist in Livonia. What up, Dan? Thanks for tuning in, by the way. Yeah, you know, you're going to be probably turning your air on this for the first time this year. And that's when all the AC people get the phone calls on Monday. Oh, it's not working. Well, Hire It Done's got some great ones, so it's time for you to jump in on that one, of course. And, of course, you know, listen, we got lots going on. So I want to give a little shout-out to the do-it-yourselfers who listen to the show. You see, I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. People think that. I'm pro-do-it-for-me. It's pretty simple. From the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. From the chin up, 7 to 10 figures. Let's keep it that way. My point, my friends, is I'm not trying to tell you not to do it yourself because there's a time and a place to do it yourself. So here's a little bit of a statistic that I got, and this is why I want to talk to you about it. So some homeowners are do-it-yourselfers, and some prefer to hire a contractor for many major home improvement projects. How do the numbers compare? So here's what this survey said. They found that in their survey, do-it-yourself remains the most common project method, as 68% of the respondents said they're completing projects themselves. Now, I don't know if it's macho. Oh, I'm going to do my own deck. I'm going to stain my own deck. I'm going to build an addition. I'm replacing windows. You know, that's that macho-ness, right? Me, not so much. I'm like, listen, I'm going to hire the right guy to put it in. Because what do we all know, friends? The best window in your house is... What's the best window in your house? 248-539-9797. Tell me, or I would say, the best window for your house. Answer that for me, folks. The Hire It Done PhD veterans all know the answer. 248-539-9797. The best window for your house is... ... You tell me. But anyways, here's the deal. Decision to take on a home improvement project over hiring a professional often depends on the overall cost of hiring a pro. It's not if you can do it yourself, it's the cost of it, is what this survey says. 65% of respondents reported that they chose the do-it-yourself route in order to save money. Do you really save money when you do it yourself? That's the myth I'm going to bust for people. On the other hand, professionals are more often utilized when projects require either a specific skill set, electrical, plumbing, in my opinion, or are too large or complicated. That's the truth, my friends, and I think it is. So... If you have a question, let me know, 248-539-9797. The other thing is according to Brian, what's going to crash is the commercial building market. Yeah, well, no, you're right. Why is the commercial building market going to crash, according to Brian? Here's why. The reason why is, here's why. People work from home. A lot of people found out, not everybody, but a lot of companies found out, I can do the same business or close to the same business with people working from home. And if that's the case, why should I pay my rent? Why should I pay my lease? Oy, right? Well, let me tell you about that. Paying the lease is part of the obligation as a business owner. Well, can you imagine being a commercial landlord? That's a big problem, Houston. So let's talk about things you might be doing to drive your neighbors nuts. Right? 248-539-9797. Text me if you have a question. The best window is the one that doesn't leak. Pretty close. Pretty close. The best window, friends, for your house, and this is according to Glenn Hagee, and I've adapted this since then. The best window for your house is not Anderson. It's not Pella. It's not Marvin. It's not Kolb & Kolb. It's not Weather Vane. It's not Wallside for sure. The best window for your house is the one that's installed properly. That's the cliche and that's the reality, my friends. Because you can take a Marvin fiberglass or a black aluminum clad, beautiful, double insulated, low E argon, welded corners, blah, blah, blah. $2,500 window. And if you install it improperly, it's worthless. You can take a $99 wall side window, I don't even think they sell those anymore. But let's just say a low line wall side window. And by the way, wall side's a pretty decent window. You install that window properly. Okay? Insulated, caulked, level, flashed properly in an opening. The performance you get out of that window will be as good or better than a window that's 5 times the price that's not installed properly. So remember, my friends, this advice is priceless. If Dan and Austin got it, the best advice I can tell you is it's more important to find the right contractor as it is the brand of window. I'm working on a collaboration right now with Marvin. Maybe you've heard of Marvin Windows. And what we're doing together with Marvin Windows is that we're actually doing a condo complex. And for everyone out there doesn't know, I consult on large projects, home improvement related, renovation related. Homeowners can call me and say, hey, Adam, I need this done properly. And they pay me a fee. It's pretty simple. And literally my fee saves them the money plus twice the amount of the fee. Literally, that's what it saves. I can prove it. But here's my point. My point is, I'm working with Marvin, and we're putting in $300,000 in windows. And the condo people are like, well, why can't we just go with this or that? I go, look, here's the deal. Not only are we having Marvin Brand do the windows, but we're having Marvin install the windows. So there's no way to blame, like in a year, oh, the mullions aren't working. There's moisture between the glass. The company's like, oh, well, the installer didn't put it in right. And the installer's like, well, no, that's a manufacturer defect. No. The answer, my friends, is, oh, here's one phone number. Call this company. They're going to take care of everything because they are the window manufacturer and the installer. How you like me now? One source accountability. That's what I call it. And that's how it's got to be. So, things you might be doing to drive your neighbors nuts. What do you think they are? I want to hear your thoughts, my friends. Text me what you think you might be doing to drive your neighbors nuts. 248-539-9797. What are some of the things that you think you might be doing that drive your neighbors nuts? Well, someone put on Andre wrote, growing weed in the backyard is something that neighbors do that drive people crazy because of the stinkiness. Yeah, stinky. How about this one? This is an easy one. And I want to hear your thoughts as well, of course. 248-539-9797. Never taking down seasonal decorations. So if it's June and your Christmas lights are still up, do we have the right to toilet paper the house? Can we throw eggs at the house that has the Christmas lights up still? Is that still a thing, by the way, James? Do people throw eggs at houses anymore? Have you ever toilet papered a house in your life, James? I used to do it all the time. I was the kid who would drive my car through the leaf piles in the fall until the one neighbor put rocks underneath the piles. Have you ever done that? No? Has anyone thrown eggs at houses anymore? They don't do that. It's not a thing. Toilet paper at a house? Okay. Well, one thing that drive your neighbors nuts is you have your Christmas lights still up and it's June. If you're that house, you deserve toilet paper, maybe a few eggs. Okay, how about the neighbor that abandons old furniture in the yard? The couch at the end of the driveway? How about the guy that shows up and pulls the couch into the back of his truck? Ew. I want to do a DNA test on a couch that you pick up at the end of a driveway. You ever see that one show where they did the DNA test on the armrest of an airplane? Or they scraped a little bit off the seat? They found the DNA of 300 people. It's almost like the DNA test of a burger from a hamburger joint. The DNA of 300 cows. Does that just make you nuts? It sure makes me want to go more plant-based. But hey. Okay, so never taking down your decorations, abandoning old furniture in your yard. How about letting your paint get all schmutzy and scootsy? Power washing a house is a good thing, okay? An old historic house is beautiful, but if you think its chip peeling and rotted wood is rustic, think again. Your neighbors hate you. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I got a few more things that make drive your neighbor nuts, and let me know if you have any to add. 248-539-9797. Text me. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's going to be a great day today. According to the weather, it's like 70 degrees right now. It's going to be sunny. I want everyone to enjoy today. I'm going to go swimming at a friend's house, I think. There's always good ladies at my friend's house. Oh, yeah, it's going to be 88 degrees today. Ay, 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 it's going to be schwitzing weather. Meanwhile, we got some good sports on right now, too. There's a fight this weekend, Jake Paul, Mayweather. I'm going to watch it. I'm the sucker that is going to pay for it. There's hockey on right now. James, what's going on with the hockey?
Yeah, so we got the World Championships going on right now. Semifinal number 1, USA and Canada are tied at 1 with less than 2 minutes to go in the first.
All right. Are they wearing face masks on the ice? They got helmets on. Who knows? All good. So we were talking about things you might be doing to drive your neighbors nuts. Got some good ones in the ticket text, so we'll for sure get those going right now. Oh, good. Megan Marine just texted me. We just started setting up the store. Oh, they open on the 14th. Okay, cool. I want one. All right, got it. So here's the deal. Things you might be doing to drive your neighbors nuts. Text me if you have some. 248-539-9797. Never taking down your decorations, we know. Abandoning old furnishings in your yard? Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? Letting your paint get all ratty-tatty? How about letting the trash pile up? If you produce so much trash that you need a pile of bags around your trash bin, you're probably annoying your neighbors. Well, I don't know about that. You just put it out the day before trash, unless it's Memorial Day, and then you got an extra day, but big deal. No one wants to look outside their window and go for a leisurely walk down the street and you see all the trash. Yeah, that's true. Let's see what some of the listeners said. We got some more. I got 5, 6 more, but let's see what the listener said. You're a germaphobe, Helfman. Some of the best stuff is thrown out. It can always be disinfected. There's an organization called Dream Detroit with Orrin Golden. Okay. I am a germaphobe. I admit it. Oh, Orrin Goldberg. It's repurposing tons and tons of all the goods, otherwise disposable items. Okay. I appreciate that. I have a leather couch in my living room that I got off the curb in Huntington Woods. It's a perfect, no bugs, no excess, no DNA problems. It's just one of the several items that I've gotten off a curb. Okay, you know what? There you have it. Clothing can be a little more tricky, but it can be disinfected. Okay, so there's a market for those kind of things. My house is never going to get a leather couch off a curb, even if it's from Birmingham or Bloomfield or Huntington Woods. I don't care. Dream Troit. Email me some information about Dream Troit. I'd love to help out. I did literally 1,000 homes in Detroit in the last 10 years, minimum. We have found treasures. And yes, deconstruction instead of demolition. Controlled deconstruction is super important. I would rather repurpose stuff like that. But I'm talking about you got a schmutzy couch, your cat and dog peed on it for years. You got it cleaned up too many times, but now you're at the point where like, yeah, we're done. You throw it out. I feel bad for the guy that picks it up. No, yeah, every 1 in 100 couches might have some gold in it. Might have something nice, but not for me. That's, skuts and schmutz. Those are the words, my friends. Ugly paint colors. What's just as bad as chip paint on a house? How about a pukey green house? What about a bright pink house? Purple definitely doesn't go with the rest of the neighborhood. When I used to live in Birmingham back in the day, there was a purple house. There was a couple houses that were like, everyone knew, oh, the purple house. Oh, the Art Deco house, with all the funky colors. Yeah. The neighbors don't like it. Brings attention to it. Some of them bring good attention. The Heidelberg Project in Detroit, right? Too many cars parked around the house. Yeah, that one. While some communities won't even allow you to park your car on the street, others, and most of them prefer the cars in the garage. But how about your neighbor that's in the landscape business? Or your neighbor that's in the demolition business? Or your neighbor that has like 7 trucks in the yard? Or he's got like 3 campers. And they're parked everywhere. And sometimes people are living in and out of them in the yard. Literally, right? 248-539-9797. Text me. Leaving your grass too long. Yeah, that's something that makes people mad. My mom was complaining the other day to me. Can you call the landscapers to cut the grass on Wednesday or Friday? I'm like, what are you talking about, Mom? Who cares? Well, I want the grass to be nice on the weekend. I look at her, I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? I'm not calling the landscaper to do it on a Friday. I'm like, Mom, that's nuts. She goes, well, I got him the whole neighborhood. I'm like, I'm sure you got him the whole neighborhood because Dad, he probably negotiated a neighborhood deal. That's why. And yeah, our Mo guy, our Springer Landscaping, Springer Lawn and Landscaping, they're great. Those guys show up. Zzz, zzz. Hour later, place looks beautiful. Yeah, leaving the grass too long, no good. Even if you consider your neighbors friends, there's some things they'll simply never tell you. How about if your house is constantly under construction? You know, we do it ourselves, and they always, always got something going on. A big renovation can certainly bug your neighbors. We know that. But as long as you have a game plan and everything goes according to plan, you should have an end date. How about the never-ending construction job? Everybody knows people like that, right? All right, how many people know this guy? You have an old satellite dish on your roof. You haven't had Dish Network or DirecTV in, 10 years? Because the guy knocked on your door 10 years ago and said, hey, we're going to give you all the channels for $9 a month. Wink, wink, and for $200 cash, I'll give you the card you slide in there to get everything free. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. I was that guy too. But yeah, how many houses have a satellite dish on? Oh, here's one. Your security light shines into the bedroom window. You ever remember that one? Your security light may be your best bet for deterring burglars, but it's also bound to get you in trouble with your neighbors if you don't position it properly. Be sure that wherever you place it, it makes sense for your home security while also keeping it pointed away from your neighbor's windows. I happen to be an offender, my friends. I have an LED spotlight at the peak of my roof above the garage. And it's a side entrance garage, and that area faces my neighbor's house side of their house. And so I didn't know. It lights up my driveway and the side of the house really well. I got security cameras pointing the driveway, pointing the other way, so I'm covered. But I didn't realize one day my neighbor's like, hey, you know that light? It's so bright. Can you maybe figure it out? So at night I looked at it one day, and I see that it's shining like a lightsaber into the house. So I call my electrician. I go, what can we do? He's like, we can put a hood on the top of it. I'm like, great idea. So I had my aluminum guy concoct a hood, which is basically a little bit of like a visor. And we put it up there, and I put it on a screw that you can adjust so that it like tilts, and kaboom! All the light gets pointed down, lights up my whole yard, and my neighbor has no more light. Do you think the neighbor thanked me? Nope. No thanks. How about taking firewood from your neighbor's wood pile? Or as fire pits. I can't stand the smoke that come in my house. Yeah, my neighbor, he's got a kitchen in his basement, and he's got a vent going through the thing. And he likes to cook with curry. And that smell, I can catch a whiff sometimes. I'm like, oh, dude. Literally, really? That guy better use some Squatch soap. Put that in the thing. Firewood from your neighbor. So there's some things that just feel like freebies, like a loose flower on the ground or a fallen apple. But when it comes to invading people's yards for things like flowers or firewood, you're in some major confrontation. Don't take the firewood from your neighbor. Hanging the laundry on the line for too long. Do people still hang laundry outside? Yeah? No? I haven't seen that in Bloomfield.
I think it depends on like the location and all that stuff.
It's all location, right?
Always.
I always think of hanging laundry like sheets hanging in like a big field, with the sun in the background and chickens and sound of music. Who knows? Yeah. Who's the neighbor that hangs the laundry on the line too long? Are you that neighbor? Oy. That's all I can say is a big oy vey. What are we talking about? Josiah from Lake Orion, kids that drive too fast in the neighborhood. Yeah, you know what? I was that kid. I apologize to all the people that I pissed off. I was that kid. Now that I have a kid, I see people driving, I get mad. So I didn't learn. Should I blame my parents? No, I take responsibility and I own it. Hey, everyone out there, Bloomfield, Birmingham, I was that kid. I apologize. Didn't mean to do it. I also drank out of the hose as a kid. Maybe that's the reason why I have no hair. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, 11 home maintenance myths you wish you knew sooner. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. And then here's the key to today. What I wish I knew before I renovated. My name's Adam Helfman. We'll be right back. Good morning. This is Higher Done. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great day. 88 degrees today. Right now it's 71 at the beautiful studios here in Southfield, Michigan. Sun is out. Birds are chirping. Sprinkler system's full effect. We're live here in the studio. You can check us out on Facebook Live as well. It's Shout Out Saturday. If you're a contractor and you're listening to the show right now, love to say hello and shout out to you. We were talking about earlier things you might be doing that drive your neighbors nuts. And I got a text during the break. The guy who always is smoking meat on the weekend also can drive your neighbors nuts. Now, does it bother you if you have a guy who smokes meat? I think it's a great smell. It's like the smell of bacon, right? I wanted to do a segment today on things you find in a house, like if you're about to sell your house. Like, walk in a house and it's like, oh, it smells like curry. Oh, it smells like cigarette smoke. Oh, it smells like cat pee. Oh, it smells like schmutz and skuts. Do you ever have a house that says, oh my God, this house smells great, right? What makes a house smell great? Chocolate chip cookies? Vanilla? What is that smell? Tell me. I think I know. What was the movie that says, I love the smell of napalm in the morning? Does anyone remember that movie? I do. That just ages me. 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer. I'll answer it, especially home improvement one. So, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, we talked about that earlier, do-it-yourself versus hire it done. I'm not against do-it-yourselfers. You understand me, right? I'm pro do-it-for-me, meaning I'm not anti-do-it-yourself. I'm the guy who wants you to hire it done, right, Michael? Brownie? How about some curb appeal ideas from landscaping that you can do it yourself? Landscape with potted plants for curb appeal. Yeah. My trainer, by the way, she's a complete badass. She's a rock star. She says to me, I'm going to be potting plants all day. I'm going to be redoing all my plants. I'm like, I got a guy I can send you. She's like, no, I'm going to do it myself all day. I'm like, all right, it's therapeutic. Put on some music and do it. But you can change your curb appeal with nice potted plants. Plant flower beds and borders around your other plants. That's an easy one. How about outdoor lighting? Nighttime curb appeal. Outdoor lighting is good as long as it's not shining in your neighbor's window like we talked earlier. However, the other thing is you got these solar lights now. You see them all over the internet from these Chinese websites. 5,000 lumen LED, million LEDs, solar, screw it on and it lights up. The problem is that they don't last more than a couple hours and the quality's really bad. It's better to have a professional. Get like Michigan Chandelier. Go over there. Those guys know their stuff. They're the best, actually. So that's an important thing. Prune your shrubs. Add some mulch. Mulch is so overrated. Let me tell you about mulch. There's a thing that smells like mulch. You ever smell it? If you drive by in the morning, it's like steaming. Why do you think there's steam coming out of mulch? Does anyone know? 248-539-9797. I know, but I want you to tell me. Chemical reaction, maybe? Freshening up your mulch around your shrubs and your flower beds is an easy and cheap way to enhance curb appeal. But let me explain something. It's like caulk. You can't caulk over caulk, friends. You got to scrape the caulk out and then reinstall caulk. That's the proper way to do it. If you caulk over the old caulk, it's like putting a Band-Aid over a Band-Aid. Yikes. Don't do it. Come on, Houston. Get rid of the mulch. Scrape the mulch. If you got 8-9 years of mulch, every year we got that guy putting mulch down. Now you got 8 years of mulch. And you're like, no wonder why water's flowing back into the basement. Really, mulch. I wish mulch was like... Is there another... What else is there in mulch? When you mix Chex and peanuts and pretzels, is that mulch? What do they call that? You know what I'm talking about? Like a big mix of nuts? Is that mulch? Yeah, trail mix. What's the difference between trail mix and mulch? You can't eat mulch. I have this, by the way, speaking of mulch, eating mulch, I have this powder from a company called Boone. It's cacao, ashwagandha. It's like all a bunch of cordyceps. It's mushrooms. Literally, you add it to your coffee. It says add it to your coffee or add it to some drink. Guess what? It tastes like mud. I swear. I add it to my coffee and I can tolerate it. However, let me say this. Truthfully, after I drink it, oh my God, I'm Superman. This stuff I'm addicted to. Boone. I don't even know. It's from a company called Boone. Boon. I love it. I'm addicted to it. Doesn't taste great, but you can shush it up. And literally, I feel like a superhero afterwards. All right. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to tell you home maintenance myths you wish you knew sooner. And don't forget, if you have a question Google can't answer, I'm going to answer it for you. 248-539-9797. Text me. Also, shout out Saturday. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. My name's Adam Helfand, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We were talking about mulch, and it steams. Why does mulch steam? I'm going to tell you why. It produces the steam because there's bacteria, and the bacteria multiplies really fast, and that it decomposes in that decomposition process, we'll call it. And that's in the pile of mulch, right? And it's steaming. You see it in the morning, and it's because of the temperature differential outside and the heat that's being generated inside the decomposing mulch, right? And it's because bacteria, and it's actually causing heat. So that's why it steams. But you can't put mulch. You got to scrape the old mulch, folks. That's the deal. Shout out to David and Sean from Dynamic Tile and Stone. What up, David? Get that grout going. Waterproofing a steam shower today. All right. Yeah, I like the shout-outs. The neighbor who cuts his lawn at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, obnoxious. There should be a 10 a.m. understood start time. That's the best. How about the neighbor that starts their car at 5:30 and then the dog's barking and they let the car run for 30 minutes and it's right outside your door? I hate lava rock. I despise it. Was going to replace it with mulch. What would you recommend? Yeah, lava rock. Is that even still a thing? Depends on the location, but I'm still, listen, if mulch is used properly with a fabric underlayment, you're good. All right, let's talk about maintenance myths you wish you knew sooner. Maintaining your house, there's some myths and there's other ones that are real. Let's talk about some of these myths. Here's a myth when you maintain your house. You'll mow less if you cut the grass short. Do you think that's true? If mowing isn't your favorite home maintenance task, you may be tempted to cut the grass short so you don't have to mow as often. Now, I got a mowing service. I don't like to mow the grass. When I was little, my dad bought me a Toro lawnmower. He's like, here you go, son. Literally, I did it one time, and then I took the lawnmower and made a go-kart out of it. And that's the last of my mowing abilities. So, with that being said, the Lawn Institute reports cutting your lawn too short creates an environment for both weed and disease infestation. It also causes the lawn to lose moisture much quicker. You hear that, friends? That's a big deal. So instead, follow the 1/3 rule. Set your mower blade height to cut off no more than the top third of the grass. This encourages shorter roots or stronger roots. And if you don't like mowing your grass, here's when you can officially stop cutting your lawn this season. Oh, okay. Well, that's not till like October. But hey, we're all good, right? 248-539-9797. Shout out Saturday. If you're a contractor and you're working and listening to the show, thank you for tuning in. But I'll also give you a shout out. Also, if you have a question Google can't answer, I'm here for you. Let me know if I can get it. Saving energy by turning off the air conditioner when you're not home. That's a myth. Let's talk about it. And by the way, today and this weekend, you're probably turning the AC on. You may think you're saving on energy costs if you turn the AC off when you leave the house in the morning, but this isn't the best way to save money. According to national property inspectors, when you come back home and turn your system back on, the AC unit will have to work overtime to cool your house back down, negating any energy savings you've accrued. Instead, and this is what I've been saying for 10 years, folks, just adjust your thermostat 5 to 10 degrees warmer when you leave home. And don't miss these air conditioner maintenance tips. Well, we talk about AC maintenance tips all the time. Here's what I'm going to say. A programmable setback thermostat saves you money, and this is an exact reason why. Don't turn the AC off when you leave the house. Turn the thermostat, program it so that, let's say you leave your house every morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock. At 8 a.m., the temperature of the house, first of all, the fan should be on, not auto. But you adjust the temperature through the programming, and you have the temperature raise. It doesn't raise the temperature, put the heat on. What it does is it allows the air to circulate, and then as the heat gradually gets to the temperature you let it go to, it'll maintain that. If it gets hotter than that, it'll put the air on to cool it. So what it is let's say you like the house at 72, okay? And you're not home all day. What's the worst that happens if you let it get to 82? Will it raise all the way to 82 all day? You don't know. If your house is well insulated and properly shaded, it won't get that hot. Some people are in the sun. So here's the thing, though. You don't have to cool the house while you're not there. That's the point. Any good heating cooling contractor will tell you that. More insulation is better. Is that a myth? Adding insulation in is a home maintenance task many homeowners will tackle at some point. That's true. However, more is not always better. What does that mean? I know. 248-539-9797. Text me if you have a question this morning. While you want enough insulation to prevent heat loss, going overboard can actually cause problems. For instance, overloading your attic with insulation can cause the lower layers to compress, which diminishes its effectiveness. You can also end up blocking your eave or soffit ventilation, leaving heat or moisture buildup to mold problems. Okay, let me say this. That's a big one. So there's what we call the Law of Diminishing Returns. The Department of Energy recommends what? R49. Hire It Done here in Michigan, we recommend R60. Now, R60 is about 18 inches of insulation. Yes, insulation needs to be installed properly. If you have blocked soffit vents, then your insulation is worthless, right? Do you want the fan on or not on auto? Yeah, put the fan on. Keep it on. That's the true thing. Not auto. On. Now, shout out to Bill with Diversified Painting out of Whitmore Lake. What up, Bill? Anyways, insulation at R60 is the way to go. Cellulose is preferable. But here's the thing. If you have like 10 or 12 inches of fiberglass, you can put 8 inches of cellulose over it. But make sure you have ventilation. Soffit ventilation, ridge vent, can vent ventilation. That airflow supercharges your insulation. And if it's not flowing, then it ruins the insulation. Remember that. And that's all part of the roofing system. We talk about that a lot here at Hire It Done. And we like to do that. Good morning, Adam. TM Tarpey Hardwood Floors in East Point. Listening to you all working in Grosse Pointe Farms. What up? Shout out to Tarpey Hardwood in his house. Why is that for the AC fan? Well, the AC fan isn't always on. It only comes on when it calls to cool. The fan on your furnace is what I'm saying leave on, not on auto. The furnace fan is circulating air through the house, which is actually sending it through the filter, which is cleaning it. That's what I mean. Your air conditioner, the fan on the unit itself, which is the condenser, that goes on when it needs to cool the air. Hopefully I'm answering that properly for you. Now, here's a myth. The test button is the best way to check your smoke alarm. Really? The test button? I'm going to give you a little bit of advice on the test button and the smoke alarm when we come back. 248-539-9797 is Shout Out Saturday. If you're listening, love to say hey. Healthy style. This is Hire It Done. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Tyrant Dunn. My name's Adam Helfman. What's going on? That's right. I told you so. I told you so. You sure about that? I knew it. Right. Who's qualified to speak on science? Who's qualified to speak on home improvement? Who's qualified to speak on anything? We have to have trust in our system, right? I told you so. Just like I said. You know it. We all know it. Shout out Saturday. Jason in Grand Rapids painting his deck. He should have hired someone. You're right, Jason. You never want to see another spindle again. My man, out in Grand Rapids in his house. 248-539-9797. Text me. Shout out Saturday. If you've got a question Google can answer, I'd love to help you. We're talking about 11 home maintenance myths you wish you knew sooner. Mowing the grass too short, no good. Saving energy by turning the AC on off instead of fan on auto on. Quite a few things. How about your gutters only need to be cleaned in the fall? Really, dude? Really? If you think you only need to clean your gutters in the fall, what about the spring? Gutters get clogged with debris all the time. What about all the schmutz that comes off the trees the last 3 to 6 weeks that made everyone allergies go nuts? You know how that is. More insulation is better. We already talked about that. How about the test button on your smoke detector? You hit it, it goes beep, 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 right? Crazy. Drives you nuts. It's super piercing. Yeah, that thing will wake you up out of bed. But is that the right way? By pressing the test button on your home smoke alarm, where really all you're doing when you hit that button is testing it to know that the siren works on it or the sound. Instead, you want to properly test your smoke alarm? Go take a match, light a match under the smoke alarm and blow it out right underneath it, okay? The smoke coming off the match should make it go nuts. And yeah, it'll go off after about 10, 15 seconds. But come on now. Come on now. If your carpet feels dry, it's safe. What does that mean? If your carpet feels dry, it's safe. What movie was this? Is it safe? Is it safe? Yeah, it's really safe. I swear, it's so safe you wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. It's so safe. Is it safe? If you remember that movie, text me, 248-539-9797. The bad news is, even if your carpet feels dry after a water loss, a flood, it doesn't mean it's completely dry. Because standing water seeps beyond the carpet and the underlayment into the subfloor. And then as it dries out, it migrates back up. That's the problem with drying out your carpeting. You got to have a professional person. IICRC. Come on now. Your bathroom fan. The exhaust fan in your bathroom is maintenance free. Ha! Is that a myth? Most bathroom fans aren't even vented properly. We all know that. I got a guy who'll do that for you, though. If cleaning out the bathroom exhaust fan isn't one of your regular home maintenance tasks, add it to the list, right? Mold and mildew can form inside your fan. No, of course. In addition, dust builds up over time, and that scoots. Again, here's another reason to call it scoots and schmutz. Take your little vacuum. You have a handheld one, and go it over the fan cover. You can actually pull the cover off. You can also buy. Here's what I do. I do this once in a while, but here's what I want you to do. Okay. I want you to get a vacuum cleaner and then get a can of compressed air. Turn the vacuum cleaner on the hose and have the hold the hose up by the fan. And then spray. Right? And all the dust goes everywhere. And if the fan's on when you're spraying, the dust gets sucked into the fan. However, you got your vacuum cleaner in case you schmutz and scoots dust all around. I want a video of someone doing that. That would be fun. Shout out to Nick, Marathon Man. That's right. Is it safe? That's Marathon Man. You only need to replace your furnace filters once a season. Oh, boy. Let me tell you about that, Houston. Okay? First of all, if you have the 1-inch filter, you got to do it every month. If you don't have the money for a new filter and you have hairspray, do me a favor. Go take your filter out, go outside, lightly hit it, get all the schmutz off of it, even vacuum it. Right? vacuum your filter, but then spray hairspray on it. Put hairspray on the side that the air flows through. Why do I say that? Because hairspray is like glue. All the dust will stick to it. And that'll help you out. It's a little hack. It's a healthy hack, as you know. The only need to replace your furnace filters. Now listen, if you have the 4-inch electric one or the pleated one or air bears, you still got to do that twice a year. My attitude is you have the furnace tune-up guy come clean everything out. Get the air conditioner started up, have him clean your filter, have him clean the air conditioner. That's the best way to go. It doesn't matter what time of day you add chemicals to your pool. If taking care of a pool is part of your home maintenance, and by the way, is there a shortage of bleach, chlorine? Is there a shortage of all those tablets for your pools, I heard? Be sure to add chemicals after the sun goes down. You hear me? Do the chemicals in the evening. Tim Wilson, you understand me? That's because adding chemicals when the sun is strongest can result in the UV rays reducing the effectiveness of certain chemicals, especially chlorine, according to the Security First Insurance Agency. Now, here's one. Oh my God, we have asbestos. The myth is that asbestos in your home must be removed. Just so we're on the same page, you see these commercials, mesothelioma. If you've been this, and we can sue. Well, if someone had died of that, yeah. If you were exposed to it and they knew it was bad, I think you deserve to figure out how to be compensated. But let me give you a little history. Asbestos, however you want to say it, it was widely used in building materials until it was banned in 1978. How old were you in 78, friends? I was 10. If you have asbestos in your home, you may not have to remove it. That's right. According to the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, asbestos only poses a health risk when the material is friable and fibers can be released. What does friable mean? You put it in oil? No. It means that when it's aerosolized. It's when you touch it and then all the little particles go and float in the air and you take a deep breath. And then it sticks in your lungs and then you're in trouble. Big trouble. So what we tell you to do is to encapsulate it. Oh, encapsulation. That's what you do with asbestos. Simple, friends. Now, it's no joke, asbestos. So, don't, have a pro do that. I happen to have a pro. Just so we're on the same page. One more thing. Your dishwasher cleans itself. Did you know there's a filter in your dishwasher? How old were you when you found out there was a filter in your dishwasher? It seems like your dishwasher's self-cleaning, but that's not the case. To keep it running well and smelling fresh, you might clean it out periodically. What are you going to clean your dishwasher when you're cleaning dishes and all of it is clean anyways? Okay, Houston, let's figure this out. The filter in the bottom gets schmutz in it. And you got to clean the schmutz and you got to clean the skuts. You understand? Place a couple of cups of vinegar in a clean bowl near the center of your bottom rack and run the dishwasher on a normal cycle. If your dishwasher still has a funky smell, it might be time to clean out that filter. How old were you when you found out your dishwasher has a filter? I learned this from Bill and Rod's Appliances. Joe Legato. And by the way, if you're buying appliances, I know you want to go to a big box store, but literally, I urge you, don't buy anything until you go visit Bill and Rod's. And here's why. They are family-owned, local. That should be enough. However, they're competitive. Joe Legato, who runs it, the guy literally is a master of purchasing appliances. He understands. When there was a shortage of freezers, guess who had all the freezers? Joe Legato. And guess what? He had them there, and he didn't gouge. He had the right pricing. Boom. And, of course, he sold them out as fast as they came in. My point is, here's a guy that's local, family-owned, medium-sized family. We want the money to stay in town, right, friends? 248-539-9797. We're going to be talking about what I wish I knew before I renovated. Think about that. What I wish I knew before I renovated. I always meet people that go, oh, what do you do? I'm in the home improvement business. Oh, what are you, a contractor? I said, not really. I'm a guy who basically is like Match.com for contractors and homeowners. And that business has evolved. I'm I'm like Angie's List, but better. Because I'm a real expert. People are like, oh my God, I built an addition a couple years ago. I wish I knew you. I know. I wish I knew you too. Anyways, what I wish I knew before I renovated when we come back. Welcome back. This is Higher Time. My name's Adam Helfman. What a great, great show, right? I think it is. I'm allowed to because it's my show. 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer? I'm here for you. You're a contractor? You want a good shout out? Today's shout out Saturday. Of course, we always want to help you out. Let me know. Hey, we're good. Jason Waller from Power Home Solar wants to know, what time's the show run at? 7 to 9 a.m. every day, every Saturday. And I'm live right now. How about that? I'm a multitasker. So, what wish I knew before I renovated. I'm going to tell you this, my friends. This is what you knew. Shout out to McAllister Fence, always listening. Thanks, guys. If you guys, fences don't put themselves up, right? Ain't that the truth? All right. Has anyone used Power Home Solar? Literally, I'm going to do solar in my house. I think it's time for me to become the real prepper. I'm going to be the off-the-grid prepper in the city. That's my goal. I'm going to live prepperish, but in Bloomfield Hills. In fact, I'm designing. Here's a great story. I'm actually designing right now a garage, a detached garage on my property. 2-car, like a 20 by 24. But it's not going to be a garage. It's going to have, like, when you face it, it looks like a garage because it's going to have a garage door looking on it. But when you open it, it's going to be Fort Helfman. I'm going to put a slab, but really underneath the slab is going to be a bunker. And then I'm going to have my complete prepper, survival, greenhouse, living, Airbnb, Venmo, Verbo, blah, 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 whatever, on my property. Solar. That's why I want to know about solar, because I want to talk about it. Yeah, let's do next Saturday, Jason. And we're in. We're in Lake Flynn. Is anyone else there a prepper? If you're a prepper, let me know. I want to know what kind of stuff do you have. The best thing I ever did being a prepper is getting rid of toilet paper. Let me finish that. I have toilets in my house that wipe your butt. That's the problem. It's not a problem. It's the greatest thing ever. Warm water, then a hot air blower. Woo! Woo, doggy. Who needs... I heated seat. It's the greatest thing ever. Trust me when I tell you. Until you had... It's like a heated towel, okay? Rich from Trexler. Trexler Construction. What up? Thanks for listening to the show. By the way, if you text me, I appreciate it. I want you to know I appreciate you texting the show. If you ever had a heated towel warmer and then you get out of the shower and you put it in, you put a warm towel on your body, game changer. Until you had one, you don't know, right? I have heated floors. Until you had a heated floor, you walk into your bathroom and the toes are like warm. They're like, whoa, I love this. But you never had it, so you don't know. Now I'm telling you, you sit on the toilet. Kohler Numi. Toto makes one similar. You sit on the Kohler Numi with the heated seat. I'm like, whoa. Heated seat. You sit down and you're like, oi, this is so good. Your tuchus feels great. And then it's time to flush. You don't even have to wipe. It wipes for you. And then it dries you. I know everyone's like, what are you talking about, Helfman? Yeah, that's the deal. Okay. What I wish I knew before I renovated. And by the way, shout out to Adam Taggett. Everyone know Adam Taggett? Exterior Experts of Michigan. He does a lot of work with me. He fixed a clay tile roof recently. Can you imagine having a house in Bloomfield Hills with clay tile? Oh, yeah, well, good luck finding somebody. These people called someone that came from Port Huron and they're like, yeah, we want $50,000 to repair your roof. I'm like, okay, buddy, go back to Port Huron. Ain't gonna happen. I got Adam Taggett. He did it for $49,900. I'm kidding. If I could go back in time and talk to my pre-renovation self, here's a few pieces of advice I would give myself. Now, for everyone out there who hasn't renovated a big job yet, this is advice for you. If you've already renovated, you'll probably say, oh my God, Adam, you're right. So in renovation, assume nothing. You may think it's obvious that refinishing the floors would include a little strip on the outside of the stair railing, but your flooring installer might disagree. Think about that. When it comes to your budget, get quotes from local contractors, not home makeover TV shows. That's the best one ever. If you're going to, by the way, it's impossible to get quotes today. It's so difficult. However, there's still good contractors out there. But can you imagine, this happened to me. Adam, I don't understand. Your contractors were all 10 grand for my roof. I saw it on TV for $1,400. Oh, you did? Cal from Protocol Mold Testing. Thanks, Cal. Shout out. Make sure the mold is aspergillus. I had a lady sue me for mold once, and she was a biochemist, and she actually placed mold in her basement. We caught her. Karma got her and her husband big time. We'll talk about that another day. My home improvement nightmares. So, can you imagine people say, oh, yeah, I got HGTV told me how much my bathroom should cost. Really? Really? That's called fuzzy math. Ask for an estimate, not a textimate. That's a good one, textimate. What's a textimate? I always say, listen, we've all been programming you. Get it in writing, get it in writing, get it in writing. Right? And then the higher it done PhD level is, after you get it in writing, give it back to them and say, hey, put in writing what's not included. And so I want you to know that it's okay. Don't have them text you the price. Who does that, right? Texting the price? You don't want to do that. Now, I've had homeowners say, well, what did the homeowners say to me? They're like, or here's what it is. Contractor says, Mrs. Jones, I have your price. I'd like to come to your house and present it to you. That's the proper way to do it, especially on a multi-functioning job like kitchen. We got demo, we got plumbing, we got this, and we got that, right? The key here is, then the homeowner says, well, I don't need all that. Just tell me the price. Text me the price. If you're a contractor, what do? Do you text the price? What do you do? That's the key. You don't text the price. You say, Mrs. Jones, listen, I work really hard to put this price together. If you're not willing to let me come in your house and present to you the price, then we got a problem. Right, Bill? Right, William? And Troy? I love when people think they're keyboard gangsters. They're the best. Anyways, thanks for making the show number one. Eat a donut while you're at it. So, what about when it comes to the crew? Hire a general contractor rather than individual installers. Okay? Here's an example. For her mudroom remodel, Lindsay started by parceling out projects to pros affiliated with the big box stores, where she bought the supplies. But then she found that they often couldn't problem solve. I've said that before. Look for solution-minded contractors, right? When the tile installer discovered the floor wasn't level, he simply left. The general contractors know how to troubleshoot and coordinate with a variety of tradespeople. Solution-minded, friends. So a carpenter would level the floor, and then the trailer would go in. Then the tiler would go in, right? Sheesh. Does it make sense to work with a designer? 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer? You got a comment? Love to hear from you. Do you ever think about bringing in an architect? In home improvement, is architects necessary? I'm going to tell you 9 out of 10 times no. Now, if you have a big remodel, like a whole house remodel and an addition, yeah, you need an architect. But you don't need an architect. And by the way, a lot of architects look at remodelers as the bottom feeders. I've listened, I've heard it, I've seen it, I've lived it. Now, the guys who are architects for the renovation business, they're rock stars. Seriously, rock stars. But a good design build contractor can get around all that. And that's the key. So What about specialty materials with specialty installs? You know? That's a problem. Just ask Will. All right, well, if you need a contractor, just visit hiredone.com. You can always email me if you need help. I appreciate everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in. I'll be back next week, of course. So I'll see y'all later and have an awesome, cool, sunny weekend. I'm Adam Helfman, and this is the Hired Done Radio Network.